Welcome everybody to Headlock Field, where in today's matchup is between the visiting Sanford Spartans and the home team, the Deering Rams. Coming into this game, Deering hasn't gotten a win this year. Coming off a 7-1 loss to Gorham, but every game is new. All you need is one win to start momentum for the rest of the season. And so coming into this game, their starting batting order is Avery Lawrence, Eli Bigelman, Quest Newhall, Dempsey Brady, Connor Coleman, Taylor Chore, Drew Hamilton, Jackson Forrest, and Ethan Corson. So with Sanford coming into this game, they are 2-1 with their loss coming to Thornton Academy, where Thornton Academy had a perfect game thrown against them. And so Sanford's looking to bounce back from that 11-0 loss to Thornton Academy and bounce back to get back into the win column. And so their starting batting order for this game is TJ Curley, Caden Fontaine, Justin Gold, Dan Williams, Ben Gill, Tanner McCain, Logan Ricker, Alex Seveny, and Tyler Seveny.
At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we would ask you to please rise as we honor America and those who protect her with the playing of our national anthem.
And here we go for the start of the game. Defensively for Deering, in the outfield, left to right, is Eli Bigelman, Quest Newhall, and Ethan Corson. In the infield, left to right, is Taylor Chore, Avery Lawrence, Drew Hamilton, and Jackson Forrest. Behind the plate is Dempsey Brady, and the starting pitcher for Deering is Connor Coleman. So here we go for the first pitch of the game. And it's on the outside corner for strike. TJ Curley is leading for Sanford. And it's hit foul So quick 0-2 count. And it's fouled back. And it's hit back to Coleman and flips it over to first for the first out.
Pitcher to pitcher.
The shortstop, number 10.
So now batting for Sanford with 1 out is Caden Fontaine. Not as windy as it was on Thursday. It's up high for ball 1. And it's on the inside corner for strike 1. So it's a 1-1 count. Up high for ball 2. And it's popped up to Lawrence, and he catches it for the second out. So Justin Gold is coming up to hit.
15, Justin Gould.
And it's high and inside for ball 1. Hits the outside corner for strike 1. So 1-1 count. It's outside for ball 2. It's a 2-1 count. Swing and a miss for strike 2.
Nice, beautiful pitch. Down and away. Tough for a batter to get a hold of.
And it's on the inside corner for strike 3. So a 1-2-3 inning for Deering to start this game off. And so after half an inning, it's Sanford 0, Deering coming up. So defensively for Sanford, in the outfield left to right is Tanner McCann, Tyler Seveny, and Ben Gill. In the infield left to right is Justin Gould, Caden Fontaine, Alex Seveny, and Logan Richter. Behind the plate is Dan Williams, and the starting pitcher for Sanford is TJ Curley. Leading off for Deering in the bottom of the first is Avery Lawrence.
Well, and Darren wants to get off to a good start here.
On the outside corner for strike 1. And Curley is a lefty, so if any Deering player gets on base, It's fouled back. Probably not going to have big leads. It's an 0-2 count. Way outside for ball one. And on the outside corner for strike three.
Yeah, he dropped it right over. That was a real good pitch. Tough to swing at, but it was there.
So now batting with one out for Deering is Eli Bigelman. Swing and a miss for strike one. Swing and a miss for strike two. And it's hit foul down the right foul line. And it's off the plate inside for ball one.
Catcher looked like he was ready to fire it down to third.
And it's right over the plate for strike three.
And he did the pitch after that.
So batting with two outs for Deering is Quest Newhall. It's down the middle for strike one. Slow for ball one. It's a 1-1 count. And Curley not wasting any time. And it's dribbler to 70 and flips to first for the third out. So another 1-2-3 half inning. So after one complete, it's Sanford 0, Deering 0. Here we go for the top of the second. Leading off for Sanford is Dan Williams. It's in the dirt for ball one. In the dirt again for ball two.
You know, so Deering gets to play here at Hadlock Field, the home of the Double-A Sea Dogs. And it's got to be a real treat for a visiting.
And it's hit between third and short for a leadoff hit for Williams.
It's got to be pretty good for a visiting team to come in here and play.
So Ben Gill is now up with a runner on first with no outs. And Coleman checks on Williams, and it pops out of the glove of Forrest.
And they're just throwing the ball around. And timeout hadn't been called, and an errant throw like that, and the runner could just take off.
And it's fouled into Deering's dugout.
And so, getting back to, Deering gets to play their home games here as well as Portland at Hadlock Field. And, this is like one of those stories, and we'll let the pitch happen.
Williams takes off. It's a throw down, but it's short.
It's a typical older person like myself story. I can remember before Hadlock Field was here, in my younger days, that there were just a bleacher with maybe 6 sections on it, small, for the high school field that used to be here before they built this complex.
So it's an 0-2 pitch, and it's popped up to right field, and it's foul.
So maybe even, some people around my age, as you look at the field now, the baseball field, high school baseball field, was set back a little further than the way it is now. And where center field is, there used to be a softball field that faced in the opposite direction. And occasionally someone strong enough would hit either a softball or a baseball on the other field.
It's high and inside for ball 1.
So that's my one and only older person story for you younger people out there.
And it's hit into center, and Newhall gets the first out of the inning. So Tanner McCann comes up with 1 out. Williams at second. It's up high for ball 1. Another pitch up high is ball 2. It's a 2-0 count.
Sun's finally coming back out again. Warm us up a little bit, I think.
And it hits the top part of the strike zone for strike 1. So it's a 2-1 count. It's on the bottom outside corner for strike 2.
And a good comeback here to even up the count.
And Williams takes off. And the throw's not in time. And so it's a 3-2 count.
Well, Sanford getting a little daring early on.
And it's up high for ball 4. So a 1-out walk puts runners on the corners. And Brady is going to go talk to Coleman.
The first baseman, number 23, Logan Ricker.
And where Coleman's a righty, I expect McCann to take off for second. And Logan Ricker is coming up for Sanford.
Yeah, the way we've been seeing these games, it's a given that the runner on first is going to take off to second, probably on the first to second pitch.
And McCann takes off, and it's by LaChore, and the run scores. Williams on the pickoff attempt to third. It goes by LaChore, and LaChore tried to throw to Brady and just wasn't in time, and it bounced off of Brady, and that puts McCann at third.
I mean, the thought process was great.
And it drops in there for strike one.
It's just the execution didn't work because you knew the runner was going to take off, and they were trying to pick off the runner at third.
And it's fouled back for strike two. It's an 0-2 count.
Well, Daring's in a little bit of trouble here on the top of the second now.
And it's popped up, and it's in the stands. It's up high for ball one. It's a 1-2 count with McCann on at third. And it's ripped down the third base line. Count remains 1-2. And it's strike three call.
That was a beautiful pitch and needed at this time.
So Alex Seveny is coming up with 2 outs. It's on the outside corner for strike one. It's outside for ball one. It's a 1-1 count. And it's popped back into the stands.
Oh, they're getting closer to us.
It's a 1-2 pitch. And it's outside for ball two. So it's a 2-2 count. And it's hit up the middle where Lawrence throws it over to first and gets 70. So Sanford gets on the board with 1 run. So after 1.5 complete, it's Sanford 1, Deering nothing.
The score after
Here we go for the bottom of the second. Leading off for Deering is Dempsey Brady. And Brady hits it to Alex 70. And he's safe.
Oh,
He slid under the tag. The throw was off to the first baseman's left. And so he had to step off. And where the first baseman is a lefty, or no, he's a righty.
they're gonna they're gonna talk. They want the umpires to talk. And the coach for Sanford, none too happy, but you know, I mean, I didn't zoom all the way in, but you could see that he slid under the tag. It was a smart move to slide.
It's in there for strike 1 to Connor Coleman.
You know, a lot of times the runner will just continue to run through the bag, but that was heads up. You know, he could see the throw was high.
It's a swing and a miss for strike 2. Yeah, and the first baseman had to jump for it and had to do a 180 to try to tag Brady.
And you know, this is,
It's on the outside corner for strike 3.
you know, and that's a prime example of running the ball out, because the second baseman wasn't that far away from the first baseman when he threw it over, and you just can't assume that it's going to be automatic.
So batting for Deering with 1 out is Taylor Shore. It's a swing and a miss for strike 1, and it was a throwdown by Williams. And it's popped up and into the stands. So it's an 0-2 count. It's up high for ball 1. And Williams checks on Brady again.
Well, it looks like the catcher for Sanford is not afraid to throw the ball around and keep the runners honest on the bases.
And it's fouled back.
Well, I think where he keeps hitting it, they might as well just have somebody sit, and maybe they'll catch each one and just throw it back down. Those 3 foul balls have all hit in exactly the same spot.
And a swing and a miss for strike 3. So batting for Deering with 2 outs is Drew Hamilton.
And we'll keep our eye on the runner at first. Doesn't have too much of a big lead, and at this point, you know, he's got to stay close to the bag.
outside for ball one. It's up high for ball two. It's low and inside for ball three. And it's up high for ball four.
Well,
So a 4-pitch walk for Hamilton.
Hooray, first baseman number 28.
So Jackson Forrest has a chance to knock in a run with 2 outs. Brady on at second, Hamilton on at first, and it's a swing and a miss for strike one. It's down the middle for strike two.
well, maybe they were just trying to pitch around the last daring hitter. What do you think?
And it's outside for ball one. Yeah, I'm not sure. And it's in the dirt for ball two. And it's fouled back. Still a 2-2 count with 2 outs. And it's dropped in there for strike three. So Curley gets out of that jam, and Deering leaves 2 on. So after 2 complete, it's Sanford 1, Deering nothing.
Complete. Sanford 1.
Here we go for the top of the third. Leading off for Sanford is Tyler Seveny. It's outside for ball one. And it's inside for ball two. And it drops on the inside corner for strike one. It's on the outside corner for strike one. Strike two. It's a 2-2 count.
Well, they were both strike ones, but it equals up to 2.
And that's just off the plate for ball three. So it's a full count. And it's ripped to Hamilton, and he throws to first for the first out. And so back to the top of the lineup for Sanford is TJ Curley. And not too often do you see a pitcher batting first in a lineup. And that's why. And he hits it to right field for a 1-out hit.
The Spartan shortstop, number 10,
So now batting with a runner on first is Caden Fontaine.
Well, and as you mentioned about a pitcher hitting first, so
And Curley takes off, and the throw's short, and rolls away from Lawrence, but not too far.
and as I was saying, pitcher hitting first in high school ball, maybe not in college, but then if they make it to the pros, they don't get to hit at all anymore. Unless you're Otani.
So it's an 0-1 count. It's low for ball one.
And I believe they had to change the rules for him so he could be the pitcher and the DH.
And it's ripped down the third base line, but foul. It's up high for ball two. It's a 2-2 count to Fontaine. Curley on at second. And it's hit over the head of Hamilton, and Curley's coming around to score. And that's the second run for Sanford. So an RBI single for Fontaine.
the third baseman, number 15, Justin Gould.
So batting now with Fontaine on at first is Justin Gould. And it drops in there for strike one.
And a big lead over there at first. Really big lead.
Fontaine takes off, and it's hit foul. So it's an 0-2 count.
I mean, Fontaine had probably twice the size lead that you normally would have. Where you can see where the cutout is on the infield grass, you can see how far out he is. That's about twice as far as normal lead would be, so he's probably taking off again.
Fontaine takes off, and it's short. And that last pitch was a ball, so it's a 1-2 count.
Well, unless you have a cannon for an arm in high school ball, chances are you're going to get run on quite a bit.
And it's high and inside for ball two.
And the pitcher for Deering is being a little bit more slow and deliberate to try to keep Fontaine close to the bag at second.
And it jams Gould.
Yeah, and Gould fought that one off because I don't think he was going to swing, and he did at the last second because that was going to drop over the plate for a called strike 3. So he did a great job in protecting the plate right there.
And Coleman steps off.
Yeah, a little bit of cat and mouse out there.
And it's fouled off again. Remains 2-2 count. It's in the dirt for ball 3. And it drops in there for strike 3. And that's the second out.
Batter none too happy about that call. He thought it was inside, but the umpire said, nope, that's strike 3.
So batting with 2 outs is Dan Williams. It's up high for ball 1. It's in the dirt. And Brady couldn't locate the ball fast enough. So Fontaine moves up to third.
Yeah, I mean, I think he thought it got behind him, but it actually had hit off him and went in front. His first reaction was to look behind.
So it's a 2-0 count. It's up high for ball 3. So the last time Williams was up, he started off the second inning with a hit. He had a stolen base and scored the first run for Sanford. And that's hit to LaChore, and LaChore fires over and gets the third out. But Sanford puts another run on the board, and so after 2.5 innings, it's Sanford 2, Deering nothing. Here we go for the bottom of the third. Leading off for Deering is Ethan Corson. Drops in there on the outside corner for strike 1. And that's hit to Fontaine, and just in time to get Corson.
And that had to be perfect, and it was.
So Avery Lawrence comes up to bat for Deering with 1 out. And the last time Lawrence was up, he struck out looking. And this time he hits it to Alex Seveny and throws it over to first for the second out.
Well, the Sanford pitcher not wasting any time.
So batting for Deering with 2 outs is Eli Bigelman. And the last time he was up, he struck out looking. And that one's fouled back. It's 0-1 count. That one's fouled back into the net. It's an 0-2 count. It's a third foul in this at bat.
And I didn't hear it hit anything, so it probably cleared the top of the stadium. It's out on the street.
And the fourth foul.
Well, the Darren batters have certainly been fighting off some pitches.
And it's up high for ball one. And swing and a miss. For strike three, that's the third out.
And I think the batter thought the ball hit the ground, but the umpire said no.
And so after three complete, it's Sanford 2, Deering nothing.
Fielder number 8, Ben Gill.
Here we go for the top of the fourth. Leading off for Sanford is Ben Gill. And he bunts it. And Brady, it's over the head of Forrest. And Gill gets to second.
Well, yeah, hitting an error. That's really too bad. That's one of those that you just needed to say, you know what, you got the hit. Thank you very much. Stay on first. But
And Tanner McCann up to bat. Last time he got walked.
and it looks, Sanford's playing some aggressive baseball. It's not like major aggressive, but on the base pass they're moving. The batter is attempting to bunt.
And another bunt. That's to Coleman, and Coleman throws him out. And I forgot to mention, Ben Gill had a fly out to center field his last at bat. And so McCann has a sacrifice bunt. So Logan Ricker is at the plate with Gill on at third. And the last time Ricker was up, he struck out looking. It's outside for ball one.
And the runner at third, as the pitcher gets ready in his windup, he's running down the line.
And it's up high for ball two.
So Sanford is manufacturing some runs and movement on the bases.
And it's low for ball three. And it's low for ball four. So a 4-pitch walk to Ricker.
We're going to have a visit to the mound.
The Spartan second baseman, number 11, Alex Sevigny.
And so we'll see what happens after this talk.
Probably just, having the pitcher take a deep breath.
And Alex Seveny at the plate with Gill on at third, Ricker on at first.
And I think they just need to make sure if he takes off a second.
And Ricker does take off. And it was 90% of the way to second base. And Lawrence gets the ball.
Yeah, they just kind of wanted to keep it in the infield.
So runners in scoring position. Gill at third, Ricker at second. With one out, it's a 2-0 count. On the outside corner for strike one. And so for Coleman, all you can worry about is the batter at the plate. And that's popped up and it's in the stands. So it's a 2-2 count.
I thought for sure I was going to see Don put the long basket out to try to catch that one. It was pretty close to his window.
And it's a swing and a miss for strike three.
Well, and the pitcher for Deering definitely needed that one.
So with two outs, Tyler Seveny is up.
You're always looking for the batter to help you out, and the batter did.
It's up high for ball one. It drops in there for strike one. It's a 1-1 count.
What are the odds that Sanford would try to suicide squeeze? What do you think?
Well, where they're up 2-0, it's probably not likely. And
No.
it's in there for strike two.
Well, it's not likely now, but
So Coleman one pitch away from getting out of this inning, and it's foul. So Deering lucks out. And it's just outside for ball two. And it's on the outside corner for strike three. And Coleman gets out of that jam. And Sanford strands two. So after 3.5 complete, it's Sanford 2, Deering nothing. And here we go for the start of the bottom of the fourth. Quest Newhall at the plate, leading Deering off. And it's low and outside for ball one. Let's see if Deering can get some hits. And it's foul to get back in this game.
Yeah, they don't need to get both of them back all at once.
And there's a hit for Newhall to lead off the bottom of the fourth.
And that is the first hit for Deering this game.
The center fielder,
So,
number 33, Dempsey Brady.
so Dempsey Brady comes up with Newhall on at first. And it's over the head of Brady. And he had to duck. So it's a 1-0 count. And it's dropped over the plate for strike one. It's a 1-1 count. And Newhall is checked on. And it hits Brady. So the first two batters are on base for Deering.
So, yeah, the first two batters on. One got a hit and one got hit.
So Connor Coleman has a chance to get.
And we can have a pinch hitter or a pinch runner.
So it looks like
Not sure what's going on. Runner on first is sitting down. Let's see what's going to happen here.
so number 24, Will Jordan, is coming in to pinch run for Dempsey Brady.
Running for Dempsey Brady, number 24, Will Jordan.
All right.
So Connor Coleman has a chance to put Deering on the board.
Well, nobody out. Let's see what happens.
It's on the outside corner for strike one. Last time Coleman was up, he struck out looking. And it's hit to Alex Seveny, and he tries to flip it to Fontaine, and Fontaine dropped it.
I think he must have just taken his eye off on it just for a
So
split second.
it looks like they called it on a transfer.
I don't know about that one. I don't know. I think he took his eye off it. Wow, they're going to call him out. Honestly, it looked like the ball got tossed to him and he took his eye off on it, and the ball just dropped out of his glove. But
So it's one out.
the umpire was a little bit closer than we were up here, so maybe that's what he saw, and You got to go with the judgment of the umpire.
So Taylor Chore at the plate with runners on the corners. Newhall and Coleman steals.
Well, they're in the position they thought they were going to be in, minus now a runner on base.
And LaChore's last time at bat, he struck out. It's a 1-0 count. It's right down the middle for strike one. So Deering has the tying run at second.
Infield playing not all the way in, but playing in.
And it's in the dirt for ball two. And it's off the plate inside for ball three. And it's a strike off the outside corner. So it's a full count, 1 out. Newhall on at third, Coleman on at second. And it's low for ball four. So
And
Curley walks the bases loaded.
and you know, unfortunately for Deering, that walk doesn't hurt Sanford at all because of that play at second base. And so, you know, a walk just loads the bases. And we'll see what the game plan is out there. I mean, now they have to decide, you know, if it's an easy ground ball, do they throw home? If it's a hard hit ground ball, where do you go? Umpire heading out now to move everybody along. And as Theo Epstein likes to say, the pitch timer is moving along in the umpire's head. It's not a pitch clock, it's a pitch timer. So
Drew Hamilton comes up to bat with 1 out. Last time he got walked on 4 straight pitches.
So the infielders all up on the grass.
And foul tipped for strike one.
And with them being up, anything through the infield is going to probably tie this game up.
And it's a suicide squeeze. And that's a run. And it looks like it's another run's going to score. And so Newhall scored. Coleman scored on with no one covering home. Hamilton got thrown out at first, and LaChore got picked off at third trying to round the corner.
Which I didn't catch because I was on home plate. But we're having a discussion here with the coach and the umpires. There was a little skirmish between the third baseman and the runner at third, and I think the umpires are going to let that go. And
so Deering adds 2. So after 4 complete, it's tied 2-2. Here we go for the top of the fifth.
And Seth and I were talking to Don, and Don mentioned, well, after this pitch.
So TJ Curley at the plate. Squared up to bunt. Pulled it back, so it's a ball.
And Don mentioned that he doesn't remember seeing 2 runs and 2 outs on the same play. And I'd have to say it's probably very rare.
It's up high for ball 2. And what a crazy end to that inning. It's outside for ball 3.
And I don't think there was an error on any of those plays. So.
And that's on the outside corner for strike 1. So it's a 3-1 count.
But I will say Deering's second run was scored because no one was covering home.
And it's a walk.
And that was a heads-up play by the Deering runner to realize no one was at home and just to keep rolling.
So batting for Sanford with Curley on first is Caden Fontaine. And Curley takes off. And he's safe.
Well, it looks like Sanford's trying to get back in the lead again, moving.
So that's Curley's second stolen base this game. He's also, his last at bat, he had a hit and he scored a run. And so Fontaine had an RBI single his last at bat. He also had a stolen base. And it's a 3-0 count. And it's in the dirt. So the pass ball puts Curley on at third. So it's a 3-0 count now. And it's a bunt attempt. And it's a walk. So 2 walks to start the top of the 5th. And infielders and the coach are going to meet. And there's no outs.
The Sanford third baseman, number 15, Justin Gould.
So Curley is on at third. Fontaine is on at first with Justin Gould coming up to bat. Last 2 times he struck out looking. And Fontaine takes off. And the throw is cut off by Lawrence to keep Curley on at third.
And it's Darren fought to get out of the hole they were in the bottom of the fourth, and looks like someone found the shovel again.
It's in the dirt for ball 2.
And I think Sanford had somebody warming up, unless the starting pitcher was just warming up to keep warmed up.
And it's popped up to Lawrence. And that's the first out.
Yeah, I think the infield fly rule. Yeah.
And I believe the infield fly rule only applies when there's runners on first and second.
Oh, okay.
And it's an intentional walk to Dan Williams, who last time at bat grounded out to third.
And that does make sense on the infield fly rule. I don't know what I was thinking, but you straightened me out.
So bases are loaded for Ben Gill, who got a single his last at bat, and a time called by Gill.
And so the Daring infield is at the corner on the grass. No, everybody's in on the grass now.
So Curley's on at third. Fontaine is on. And a suicide squeeze bunt by Gill scores a run.
Well, and what was it, last inning? Or I mentioned about a suicide squeeze, and they waited till this inning to do it. And those have to be perfect, and that was.
So Tanner McCann is now batting. He grounded out to the pitcher last time he was up at bat. And that's hit to Lawrence and throws it to first to get the third out.
That was a beautiful play, and Daring needed that like you wouldn't believe.
So Deering gets out of the jam with only allowing 1 run. And so after 4.5 complete, it's Sanford 3, Deering 2. Here we go for the bottom of the 5th. Jackson Force leading off. It's in there for strike 1. Last time Force was up, he struck out looking. And it's a swing and a miss for strike 2. In the dirt for ball 1. It's up high for ball 2. It's outside for ball 3. So Forrest battles back to get it to a full count. And it's fouled off. And that's hit to right field, and Gill is right there to get the first out. So that brings up the top of the lineup for Deering, Avery Lawrence with 1 out. Oh, sorry. It's the end of the lineup, Ethan Corson. That's fouled. It's an 0-1 count. Drops in for strike 2. Last time Corson was up, he grounded out to shortstop. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. Now we're back to the top of the lineup, which is Avery Lawrence with 2 outs. Last time he grounded out to the second baseman. It's outside for ball 1. Swing and a miss. It's a 1-1 count. Another swing and a miss for strike 2. And it's on the outside corner for strike 3. So second strikeout this inning for Curley. And so after 5 complete, it's Sanford 3, Deering 2. Here we go for the top of the 6th. Leading off for Sanford is Logan Ricker, who last time got walked and stole a base. It's in there for ball 1. Swing and a miss. It's 1-1 count. Up high for ball 2. 2-1 count. And it's low and inside for ball 3. And it's a walk. So Ricker gets on first with Alex 70.
The second baseman, number 11, Alex 70.
He's at the plate. Last time he struck out swinging.
Keep our eye on the runner at first.
It's up high for ball 1. And Ricker takes off, and it's by Brady, and aggressively rounds second, but goes back. So Ricker is on at second. It's a 2-0 count to Alex 70. And it's a bunt. It's foul. So Sanford being aggressive in this game.
Well, they're looking to add some insurance runs.
And it's just off the plate inside for ball 3.
And unfortunately for Deering, the third baseman, who would normally come in on a bunt, needs to stay at the bag to cover the bag.
And it's a bunt. And it's Forrest throwing to Hamilton for the first out, but that moves over Ricker to third.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's Sanford playing for that insurance run.
So Tyler 70 is at the plate.
Infield all the way in on the grass.
And that's hit to LaChore, and LaChore bobbles it and allows Tyler 70 to get to first.
Well, and that was a heads-up play to not even attempt to throw the ball down to first.
The pitcher number 12, T.J. Curley.
So TJ Curley comes up.
Infield still has to play in, so chances are the run is going to take off from first.
And Curley has 2 out of the 3 Sanford runs. And Coleman checks on Tyler 70. '70 takes off, and the pitch is a ball. So 2 runners in scoring position for Sanford.
And with a drawn-in infield, that's going to be tough. Anything hard hit is going to scoot through the infield.
The infield.
Now they're just trying to figure out if someone gets the ball, where do they go with it?
No. So it's a 1-0 count. And that's hit to Hamilton, and he gets the force out at first. But Ricker comes in to score.
The shortstop number 10, Caden Fontaine.
And now we're going to have a discussion. Not sure what that was about. Was he...
So, Caden Fontaine coming up. Last time he got walked. There's 2 outs. Tyler 70 on at third. It's in the dirt for ball 1.
Nice stop.
It's up high for ball 2. It's on the outside corner for strike 1. It's a 2-1 count. Drops on the outside corner for strike 2.
And if you ever needed a pitch, that was the one. That was a beautiful pitch.
And it's hit to Lawrence, and he fires over, and it's through Forrest's glove. So that brings in another run.
And are we going to have a pitching change here? I believe we are. And we will take a timeout.
So, a couple of changes for Deering in the field. Connor Coleman moves over to first for Jackson Forrest. Jackson Forrest moves to catcher for Dempsey Brady, and Dempsey Brady comes in relief for Connor Coleman. It's a throw over to first to check on Fontaine. Justin Gould is up to bat. Last time he popped up to the shortstop. Fontaine takes off, and Forrest will not throw down, so it's a stolen base for Fontaine. It's a 1-0 count. And Brady spins and steps off to check on Fontaine. And it's by...
What did he say? It hit him.
And it looks like it hit him. So...
Yeah, the runner didn't go down to third from second. So you kind of had to... I mean, sometimes it just clips a jersey.
So Dan Williams now at the plate with 2 outs. Fontaine at second. Gould at first. Fouls it back. Last time Williams was up, he got walked. low for ball 1. It's a 1-1 count. And it's hit to Hamilton, and he flips it to Lawrence for the out. And so Sanford adds 2 more runs in the top of the 6th, and after 5.5 complete, it's Sanford 5, Deering 2. Here we go for the start of the bottom of the 6th. Eli Bigelman at the plate. Swung at the first pitch for strike 1. And it's fouled for strike 2. Bigelman, the last time he was up, struck out swinging. It's up high for ball 1. And it's on the outside corner for strike 3. So that brings up Quest Newhall with 1 out. And Newhall lines it to Tyler 70 for the second out.
The pitcher, number 33, Dempsey Brady.
So at the plate with 2 outs for Deering is Dempsey Brady. Fouled back. It's 0-1 count. It's in there on the outside corner for strike 2.
Yep, beautiful pitch.
And it's by the catcher for just the ball with no runners on base. Pitches like those don't matter. And it's fouled off.
Just enough to stay alive.
And it's in the dirt for ball 2. It's outside for ball 3. So it's a full count with 2 outs. And it's ripped to Ricker, and he steps on the first base bag for the 3rd out. And so it's 3 up and 3 down for Sanford. So after 6 complete, it's Sanford 5, Deering 2. Here we go for the top of the 7th. Leading off for Sanford is Ben Gill. It's on the outside corner for strike one. It's low for ball one. It's a 1-1 count. Ball two. 2-1 count. And that's ripped into the netting on the third base side. So it's 2-2 count. And pitch got away from Brady.
Yeah, I think you're right, Don. I think he was trying a knuckleball. That's the only thing you could think of there.
And it's in the dirt for ball four. So a leadoff walk for Gill. Which brings up Tanner McCann.
I think we're going to have a pinch runner, number 25. Number 25 pinch runner.
So Makai Bougie is pinch running for Ben Gill.
At first base for Gill, number 25, Makai Bougie.
In there for strike one on McCann. McCann, the last time up, grounded to shortstop. And Brady checks on Bougie. Own one count. Bougie takes off, and it's a drop ball. So Lawrence and Hamilton both ran into each other.
Well, and unfortunately, I have to say that miscommunication cost them a double play. Because they had the runner taken off from first. All they had to do is one of them had to catch it cleanly and throw to first. And that's an unfortunate communication error.
For Ricker, number 34, Ashton Smith.
So Ashton Smith batting for Logan Ricker.
And sometimes that does happen.
So McCann on it first. McCann takes off. And the ball hops a couple times before Hamilton gets it. So clean steal for McCann. And it's a 1-0 count. Swing and a miss. It's a 1-1 count. And Brady steps off to check on McCann at second. And that's hit out to Corson. And tagging up is McCann. And he gets all the way in to home.
And I didn't see what happened because I was covering the runner. What happened out there?
I believe he didn't get it in time. Maybe he thought that was the third out. But that scores McCann.
I mean, I knew that there was only one out. That's why I was filming the runner coming around third. So, it's number 1.
So pinch hitting for Alex 70 is number 1, Parker Knapp. And that's hit into shallow. And no one's at second. And Knapp gets the second with no one covering.
So now 2 plays in a row. Sanford has kept their head in the game, scored a run on a ball not thrown in, and a runner goes to second, seeing no one's covering second.
The center fielder, number 19, Tyler 70.
So Tyler 70 is at the plate with 2 outs. And that's hit into right. And that's foul.
So, saved by the foul line.
So it's a long strike. And it's on the outside corner for strike 2.
Well, baseball is like a game of chess. You really need to know where all the pieces are on the board, and you got to think 3 or 4 moves ahead.
And that's hit out to right, and that drops in. And Tyler 70 moves to second.
And it's pretty amazing in the game of baseball how one play has a domino effect. 3 or 4 or 5, 6 plays down the, like I said, like a game of chess.
So TJ Curley has a chance to extend this hitting spree. And he hits it into right. And Tyler 70 coming around to score. And that's the third run this inning for Sanford. And Sanford's broken this game wide open.
Well, you know, and the butterfly effect started on that little blue play to second base. I think is that one little blue play has created what we see now.
And Brady checks on Curley with Caden Fontaine at the plate. Last time up, he reached on an error and stole a base. Curley takes off, and it's in and out of the glove of Forrest. It's a 0-1 count. And that's into right, but Corson gets the third out. So Sanford puts 3 more on the board. So after 6.5 complete, it's Sanford 8, Deering 2. Here we go for the bottom of the 7th. Connor Coleman leads off. Deering only has 3 more outs to work with. Couple of changes on the field for Sanford. In center field is TJ Curley for Tyler 70. In right is Parker Knapp for Ben Gill. At second is Scott Long for Alex 70. At first base is Ashton Smith for Logan Ricker. And in relief is Ben Gill for TJ Curley. It's a 1-1 count. Fouled for strike 2. So it's a 1-2 count. And it's a swing and a miss for strike 3. So 1 away for Deering. So Taylor Chore comes to bat. Deering with 2 outs to work with. On the outside corner for strike 1. And LaChore is brushed off the plate.
I think they're asking the umpire if it hit him, but I don't believe it did.
It's a 1-1 count. And it's fouled.
this late in the game too, you don't want a pitch to get away and hit a batter either. So,
And that's dropped over on the outside corner for strike 3.
oh my God, what a nasty pitch.
So there's 2 down with Drew Hamilton coming up.
Number 1, Drew Hamilton.
Deering down to 1 out.
After getting a little bit of chin music, they got the violin music.
And that's hit back to Gill, and he flips to first, and that's your ball game.
Well, this is a tough loss for Deering. I have to say, the first few innings they had this game in hand through 4 or 5 innings. It was tied at 2, then it was 3-2, and then the wheels came off.
And Sanford, it looked like after that blunder where they allowed those 2 runs on what was an interesting inning, it looked like they buckled down and were more focused than the beginning of the game. And
Sanford played pretty well. Their pitching was pretty good. Darren had a couple little, not keeping the eyes on the prize, and so they'll have some discussion. They'll have a team meeting, try to clean up a few things, and talk about if this happens, what do you do? When that happens, where do you throw the ball? Just little things, I'm sure some of these players are, learning strategy. I mean, baseball's a strategy game. When the ball's hit to you, where do you go with it? Where is a guy on base? Should you throw it to where he is, or should you get an out? I mean, there's a lot to this, and sometimes, early on in the season, you got to get those moving pieces all moving in the same direction.
And so it's Sanford coming on top 8-2 and only allowing 1 hit. And Sanford had 7 hits. And so Deering moves to 0-5 and Sanford moves to 3-1, saying so long. This has been a production of TV3 Portland Public Schools, saying good night.
And thank you very much for watching. See ya.